everybody. So I made some Valentine's Day ears. Of course, like always, I made 2 sets because, you know, that's me. And they are pretty much exactly the same. I think this bow is kind of off to the side a little bit, and where the other one is more centered. So the Valentine's Day bow was for a Valentine's Day swap that I had going on. So in this video, you're just kind of seeing the DIY. It is literally me doing it with no sound, and I am voiceover during the video. If you like voiceover DIY better than me trying to do everything at the same time, let me know. I kind of hope you do, because I've done about 5 or 6. Hey guys, it's Christy, and today I am doing a Valentine's Day ear creation. I had or have, depending on when I upload this video, had or have a swap going on, and it's an ear swap, and it is for Valentine's Day. So let's just go ahead and get started on the information. So first you need 2 different sizes of ear cutouts. I have what I call a sew line and then a fabric line. I use a sew line for my cardboard and trace it around. I use the fabric line for my fabric and trace it around, of course. You need a marker, cardboard, or styrofoam, or not styrofoam, but foam, like the foam sheets. You need scissors, polyfill, fabric, hot glue gun and hot glue, and any kind of trim you want to use for your bow, or any kind of other things you want to accentuate your bow with. And then you trace at least 4 on your cardboard out, because you'll put fabric on each of them, and then that's half an ear, and you stick it together, so 4 equals 2 ears. So once you get those cut out, you want to put them together and trim them up to make sure they line up. Then take your fabric earpiece and trace around on your fabric, leaving a little hanging down at the end, because that needs to be tucked up under and glued in together. Then the next thing you do, once you have all that done, you also cut those out, by the way, is you get your hot glue gun, you get your fabric, pull it tight around the ear and glue it on. Do it slowly, a little at a time, because glue does dry fast, and be sure not to burn your fingers, because I do that all the time. Once you have that glued, be sure to leave the gap where you can stuff it, unless you don't want to stuff it. Once you have that done, you take some polyfill and you stuff your ear. You can use your finger, or you can use a stuffer, which should come with your polyfill. Be sure not to stuff it too tight, or it might bend your cardboard or foam, whatever you're using, and you don't want that to happen. Then next, after you've done that, after you've stuffed it, you're going to glue that down, and you can trim off any of the excess or just leave it however you'd like. You then want to match up the ears to see which ones fit the best. Put a little glue around one side of one and then in the center, and put them together and hold them together for a short period of time. Once both of those are ready, you can take your trim, whatever trim you got, cut it for the length around your ear, just enough, to tuck it under both sides. And I start at the one side and glue a little bit of glue down at the bottom, and then wrap it around the ear, slowly gluing all the way around, and then tuck it under again and glue it there. Once both of those are done, I take my headband and my ears, and I line them up. I then grab a pair of ears I've already got and make sure they're lined up evenly by laying that on top of it. I then remove the other pair of ears, take one ear, put hot glue in the bottom, and hold it to the headband for a little period of time. And then I do it with the other ear. Then, depending on what type of ears I'm doing, I may take some more trim and wrap it around the base of the ear, right where it is glued on to your headband, to just add a little more detail. Then when I get to the bow, I take the fabric to the bow, and for this one I used 2 fabrics. I used a maroon fabric to create the bow, and then I used the lacy maroon to go over it, because you couldn't just use the lacy. So the way I did that was that I took the fabric, I cut out about 6 inches long ways and probably about 4 inches wide. I glued down the little edges, all the way around, and then I met them in the middle and glued them together to create the bow. And then you do a fold, like a back and forth fold. Accordion fold is what some people call it. Put a little glue in between each of those creases, hold it down, then take your ribbon and get another piece of ribbon and do the same thing, glue down the edges, and then wrap it around the center to make your completed bow. Once it's dry, take a little glue on the bottom of it and stick it right in the center in between your ears, and then you have your bow. And that is pretty much how you do your ears. I wanted to make sure that I just kind of went over all that information, and so that you can, throughout this, you can kind of see what I'm doing in fast motion. So after that's complete, well, now that it's complete, you have a pair of ears. Let me know what you think about these ears. I hope you really enjoyed watching this DIY and listening to the overlay of the DIY. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me in the comments below, and I can answer anything you want. Also, be sure to check out my other DIYs. Some of them are I speak while it's going on, so it's a lot easier to follow along. This one was rather quick because I was not able to talk while doing it. All right, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye now. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm about to give you a close-up of these ears. The bow is pretty large. I really do love the fabric quite a bit. And then the other ears are the same, just on a black headband, and the bow, I think, is maybe a little bit larger.